one of the things that I wanted to talk about and have Larry speak to, because it's very specific why I'm doing this, why I'm doing it for you, and what I'm trying to replicate is that feeling of camaraderie
Oh, yeah.
with the community. Because when I've been in this business for a long time, and it's my life, it's my passion, and hopefully that comes out in these videos, and hopefully it comes out in the material that you're seeing. Because I'm not an actor, I don't play one on TV. I'm not a great writer, but hopefully you can see what I'm trying to accomplish in between the lines of all that, and being that I'm not, a polished performer, and so to speak, nor do we have the greatest sets or the most, expensive equipment and all this. We do the best with what we do the best with what we can, with what we have.
We're great MacGyvers.
Yes, we're great MacGyvers. But what I'm trying to replicate in an online community, and it's been working so far, is that feeling of camaraderie within the live community, and I'm replicating that in the peacewalker.net, of increasing that brotherhood, so to speak, because that is equally as important as the physical tools. So I was wondering if you could maybe speak to that a little bit, of how that community and that brotherhood, so to speak, has affected you and changed your ability to apply the tools and in your life and that type of thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, first off, it's common ground.
Yep.
Shared adversity. In the military, we call it shared adversity. The guys that I went through basic training with in the Army, shared adversity. They'll always have that. I can get with them and have that one thing to talk about, that we all, hey, remember that time in the rain putting up the tents and
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing, not just with the crop, because we go through the tests and,
Right.
Rob
and that's a
and
big
some of the other
thing
guys.
too, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
reason why too. This module and these, let's say, seminars, but the work that I'm doing online and with all these videos and that type of thing is really directed specifically at Krav Maga, people who train in Krav Maga
Yeah.
and in martial arts, because that's our shared adversity.
Sure.
But even deeper than that, because I don't care if you're with IKMF or you're with IKI or you're with Krav Worldwide
Right.
or you're trained in different martial art. We have a lot of folks who are a part of this that train in different martial arts and tactical systems, and some of them are friggin' Navy SEALs and military, ex-military, bodyguards, and blah, blah, blah. The commonality is that we're all protectors.
Right.
And that community of seeing beyond those differences of, I'm a teacher,
Sure.
you're not a teacher, I'm this style of Krav Maga, you're that style
Right.
of Krav Maga,
Right, because we're all sharing that adversity we call life.
Yeah.
And I think one of the really cool things of, especially like on the Peace Walker Facebook page and all that is a good friend of mine, Rob, will see something cool and he'll post it. And because we've all been through Peace Walker together and we've been through a lot of this stuff together, we'll go, oh yeah. It's like a mini church service. You go to church, the pastor says something, you go, oh yeah, I can use that in my life. And you look at it in a different way. And what'll happen is like maybe Rob will throw something on the board up, and I'll see it and go, oh yeah, hey, I forgot kind of about that aspect of things. Yeah, that's great. And it's a refresher.
Yeah.
You lean on each other. Steel sharpens steel kind of thing.
Or on those bad days.
Yeah, or on the
on
the bad days.
of like, I get that a lot, and I get a lot of personal emails in that. And I'm trying to kind of reflect those into the community of helping folks to really engage in the community more.
Yeah.
More so than just lean on me for a couple reasons. Number one is, I travel a lot. I work with a lot of people every year, and it's getting larger now because of the online presence. And it's not that I don't want to be there for everybody.
Yeah.
I do. Part of it is collectively we have a lot of knowledge. It's not
Right.
just about me, and that's a big thing. Sure, it's very flattering for people to address me personally and ask for my opinion and
Sure.
ask for advice and all that. But really, all of us, and that's the cool thing about the community, all of us have life experiences. All of us are, very adept at a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know something about whatever it is, you pick a subject, and hard pressed that you can't find somebody in the community
Right.
that would have some good input.
Right.
You know?
Right. And we've had well, the funny thing is we call it the Half Centurion Club,
Yeah.
but there's a bunch of us that are 50 and older. And
Not me yet.
yet.
Those guys.
And what'll happen sometimes is some of the younger guys from class or the younger ladies from class will come and they will ask us advice. And part of it's because of the Peace Walker, part of it's because of the crop, but it's also part of because of our life experiences.
Yeah.
And they don't come. It's not. They're not blowing smoke when they do it. It's not. Well, hey, Larry's one of the senior students. If I go up
Let's go
and talk to him,
let's
and
go kiss the old guy's ass.
yeah, really,
to make
yeah.
him feel better, because
feel better. Yeah,
he only gets
No,
out of
no.
the old person's home every couple days.
It's legitimate things, and we point out maybe a couple of legitimate things. And me being ex-military, we just did it the other day. Me being ex-military, a couple of times, the different younger guys that are thinking about enlisting will ask me questions,
Right.
and I'll give them world advice, and not be hardcore, charge up. No, it's like down to earth advice, something that'll kind of help you get along and maintain a baseline while you're in.
Well, that's
you
a
know?
big thing too, right? If you out there want to sustain your Krav training for more than just 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years tops, guess what? You've got to really be mindful of how you train.
Yeah.
For sustainability. If you're older, meaning even 30s and above, and you're weekend warrior, so to speak, you can wreck more than just your Krav training. You
Right.
can literally wreck your life. I mean, I know people personally who have injuries that they weren't able to recover from because of their training.
Right.
Period. So I'm not trying to get back into the physical portion that much, but how you train, we need to take that out of the gym and
Right.
into your life. And quit living in your head about being this frickin' Jason Bourne tactical guy. And another one of my little tangents lately has been going from tactical to practical. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. I train plenty of special ops guys and plenty of professional protectors and that type of thing. And that's good training to be able to do that. But how often are you going to be in an active shooting event? Hopefully never.
Right.
But even if there is a chance of it, it's not that big of a chance.
Right.
Like I like to say, it's like winning the lotto in reverse.
Yeah.
There is a chance of it, but I wouldn't bet your retirement on it. So getting that tactical aspect is very important, yes, but not by taking away from the practical aspect.
Right. The practical aspect too is like you're talking about is guys will be like, well, why do I learn this? I won't ever use this. The Peace Walker portion, I use way more. Matter of fact, 100% in the field.
Every day,
use
I'll
more
guarantee you use it every
than
day.
Krav.
Right.
Krav has saved me from slipping on the ice or rolling on the ice a couple of
Right.
times when I slip and fall. But every day in every kind of situation. And the thing is it's not once you get the idea of, okay, I watched the Peace Walker online, I'm ready to go now. No, you're not.
It's a good start.
It's a start, but you train it. It's like my wife one time, all right, Peace Walker was coming around again, and I enrolled in it. And she said, well, you've already done it. I know. And that's why I'm doing it again, because it's like we talk about techniques. The wrist turnout. The wrist turnout I did the first day in class looks nothing like the wrist turnout and feels nothing like the wrist turnout I do now. My wrist turnout's kind of bad. But my point being is the Peace Walker that I started as shouldn't be anything like the Peace Walker that I am now. It should,
Right.
and it's a constant learning process. We don't want to stop learning those kind of things because that is something you're going to use every day, and you want to become. I get excited about it, to be honest with you, for opportunities sometimes. I don't like go out there and cause conflicts so I can have this opportunity, but I do get excited about the opportunities, and then I feel good about myself too afterwards that I did apply things that were in a managed way that
Right.
things didn't get out of hand.
And you had the tools to take the high road.
Right.
Which brings us back to community, right? If your mom told you when you were a kid, it's no different.
Yeah.
Watch who you hang out with, right?
Right.
If you're hanging out with a community that gets it and want to be protectors and good martial artists and good shooters and the badasses, but also ethical and dialed in to have a good life, you're gonna kind of toe that line more easily than if you're in the middle of a bunch of hard chargers that all they care about is what's the next ass that they can kick.
Yeah.
Right. And their life's a wreck, but they're really good in the gym or they're really good out in the field when it comes to the heavy duty stuff. What are they?
Yeah.
Right? They get themselves in trouble all the time. They're good at the physical stuff, but they tend to get into the, whether it's physical fights or arguments, or they're the ones that are getting jobs all the time because no one seems to understand them.
Sure.
And it's always somebody else.
Yeah. Well, you said it a couple times. Jack has said it a couple times too, and that is, Jack will talk about, I'm this ethical guy, but it's not like this ethical God. I'm ethical all the time, and everything's ethical.
We're human.
And you've said it too. I'm a peace walker and I'm a protector, but it's not always like I don't radiate it 100% all the time. But the nice thing is like maybe when I'm dipping a little bit and I get around you, it re-energizes, resets me, resets that compass a little bit,
Right.
and we work off of each other that way. And that's the great thing about the community, because I think then we grow as a community together. It's like, using kind of a Christian reference here for a second, they talk about going to church. They talk about reading your Bible. A lot of guys, well, I just read my Bible, I'll stay home. No, it's good for you to get into a community of
Yeah.
people that are fellow believers. Same thing here. I mean, it's good to be in that community of peace walkers, because what happens is basically we feed off each other, and it's not like I'm siphoning it out of you. I feed off of the vibe or whatever you want to call it, and it makes me better. And it makes you better too. It's a symbiotic kind of thing, more so than
Like the sum is greater than the parts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it's easy, I think, to be the ethical warrior on top of a mountain when there's nobody around.
Right. Drop
It's
it
like-
down into the
it's like,
cesspool.
Yeah,
and see how you
come
behave.
down
Yeah.
into reality, and just like all you officers out there and people in security and people who really are in the thick of things, whether it's in any job you do, I suppose, but especially when people are in crisis. So whether you're in the medical field or you're mental health or physical health, or obviously correctional officer, police officer, when you have to make people do things they don't want to do, and they need to do it, it's not always about making them do something as much as it is. Can you provide good boundaries, most good least harm, that they may not even see them being most good least harm? Give them some good options, and then what are you going to do if they don't do it? What are you going to do if they don't comply? So understanding all the process of how to be more persuasive through your influence, understanding that obviously first and foremost clarity of what are you trying to protect, and then having the verbal tools, the emotional tools, and the physical tools on how to bring it all together in a real way. So once again, bringing that Krav Maga out of the gym and into your life. Not just like, wow, I can kick that guy in the balls pretty good, and I can do a restaurant on that guy and poke that guy's eyes out and do a clock tick down on this dude. But really, how can you manage the circumstance better? And I think it takes a community to do that. So that's why creating and kind of developing and trying to grow this community of protectors, that is our common theme. I don't give a shit what type of Krav Maga that you train. I don't care what kind of martial arts you train, as long as one thing holds true. Do you want to be a protector?
Right.
Not just of you and yours, but be a protector of life in general.
Right.
And how can you do most good least harm? And are your physical tools helping you to do that, or are they taking you away from doing that? And I think sometimes we need a group of us to help you with that. So thank you very much for sharing some of your
Awesome.
insights on it, and thank you out there for listening, and we'll see you later.